We're talking about graphing polynomial functions in end behavior, and we want to graph polynomial functions using tables and end behavior. So one thing we want to think about is increasing and decreasing. A graph is increasing over an interval when it rises from left to right, and it is decreasing when it falls from left to right. So we want to say, where is this graph increasing and where is this graph decreasing? So we want to find the points of inflection, or the local minimums and maximums. And in this case, we have two of them. So we have one right here, which is -1, -2. And we have one right here, which is 1, 2. So those are going to be the points where our graph changes from increasing to decreasing. So I just want to divide this more formally into 3 intervals. So there's going to be an interval right there, and there's going to be an interval right here. So we have 1 interval, 2 intervals, 3 intervals. So this arrow over here has 2 components to it. It has a vertical component and it has a horizontal component. And this says that it's going to -infinity. Same thing over here. There's a y component that goes to -infinity, but there's also a horizontal component that goes to +infinity. And so we want to look at this, and we want to start coming up with what our intervals are. So we always want to start from left to right. And as we go from left to right, we can use our pencil and we can decide what the graph is doing. So as I'm going from left to right, starting at -infinity, and I work my way, and as I can see, my pencil is decreasing. So this one's going this way, and that's going to be decreasing. So it's decreasing from -infinity to -1. So from -infinity all the way to -1, our function is going to be decreasing. So decreasing is right here. We're going to start at -infinity, and we're going to go to -1. -infinity is never included because we can't count to -infinity. And in this case, -1 is not included because of the slope. When it changes from negative or decreasing to increasing, the slope is actually 0. So we're not going to include this point either. We're going to go right up to -1, but we're not going to include it. Our next interval goes from -1 to +1. So that goes from -1 to +1. And again, the slope at both of these points is 0, so we're not going to include either one of those. So we use the parentheses to show that they're not included. And if we follow the function with our pencil, we can see that it increases. So this one is going to be increasing. So that part is increasing. And then we're going to be back with decreasing. The graph works that way. And this one is going to go pick up right where we left off. We left off at 1, and then that's going to go all the way to +infinity. So increasing from -1 to +1, and decreasing from -infinity to -1, and from 1 to +infinity.